Oh, I don't mind a little rain.
All right, welcome back to Crypto Front. This is the front line where we are fighting for financial freedom. We're going to be talking about the current situation that we are seeing right across the market. Really, I have to stress one more time that this is not something that is isolated to crypto. In fact, this is actually a very global threat to markets right as we are speaking right now, and it's really across the board. Across the board. But we have some things that we are seeing, interesting things, positive things that we are seeing also from our favorite altcoins like Jasmine and the rest of them. But I have to stress one more time, before the market opens today, the United States market opens today, we will not have a clear idea as to where we are going. There are massive fears of a global recession everywhere right across the world, from Australia, from Japan, from China. China markets are actually much stronger than the other markets, but yeah, it's really gonna be a disaster if nothing is done. My guess is that within the 24 hours, the next 24 hours, the Fed, the United States government, whatever we want to be calling it, they're gonna come out with a mitigation plan, because really it's gonna be unsustainable for all the markets on planet Earth. Basically, they cannot just let the situation devolve and get into chaos. There are also elections, like it's a lot of places, a lot of countries in the world, and it's really going to be detrimental, right? So we will take a look at a few charts that people have been talking about, and yeah, we'll assess the situation, right? But just to give you a feel of how bad this is, and it's not only being related to crypto, I will just go ahead and play you this news article that we are seeing from Sky News. This is an Australian channel, and you can get an idea of what exactly is happening.
Really concentrate on this market round today here on the program, and just try and explain first off by what triggered it. And it was actually this report right here. The US employment report was released Friday night, our time. So the US unemployment rate, it jumped to 4.3% from 4.1% previously. The number of unemployed people in America jumped by 352,000 people to 7.2 million. Now, this was way outside any of the estimates. It spooked the markets big time. Now, you can see tech stocks on the NASDAQ, they were most affected, down by 2.43%. So this is at the close on Friday. The S&P 500 is the broader market there. It was down by 1.84%, but none of this was actually helped by the investment giant Berkshire Hathaway, led by the legendary Warren Buffett, reporting its results after the US markets closed, saying it's going to pivot out of some of its key tech holdings, and notably one of those was Apple. But it was picked up here today, not just by the ASX, but by markets right across the region. In fact, it was much, much worse in other parts. Japan collapsed, down way more than Australia. Have a look at this, down by 12.4%.
So as you can see that it's not like related to crypto alone. Even the Asian market is crashing big time. The Japanese Nikkei down 12%, and this is actually not the first time it's actually this much down. It has been down like this before. And we're also seeing Korea down 8%, 85, and yeah, it's a much bigger problem that we are seeing right across the board. Now, he also mentioned the fact that Warren Buffett's company Berkshire, they were actually like dumping 50% of what they hold in Apple, And I think that actually spoke the markets much more, because these guys are now sitting on $277 billion in cash. And yeah, if the biggest investors are like risking off on this kind of assets, it obviously creates fear and uncertainty in the market. So this is the situation that we have. As I said, so we are pulling out completely. So yesterday I was talking to Patreon members, and I was coming up on 2 different live streams. I think this is actually the 3rd live stream that I'm doing in the last 24 hours. And I was planning out my strategy, and I was saying that, look guys, there are some things which I'm in massive profits, and I've decided to take 50% out and remain 50% in cash. So I just rebalance my portfolio like that for now. And I was actually pulling out of the Berkshire company strategy, just to have the best of both worlds. But so I'm 50% in cash, and I'm also 50% in crypto. I know that one way or the other, crypto is just gonna be recovering, right? This kind of thing that we are seeing right now is directly giving me 2020 vibes when the pandemic started, right? It was really fearful, and you wouldn't have imagined that the market was just gonna come back and set a new all-time high. I'm talking about this period here. Bitcoin on that day, okay, that's let me go back to the same day, right? I'll show you how much it actually crashed. I know a lot of people right now are new into the market, and they probably don't have this kind of experience before, but we have had to experience a few of those things before in the market, and each and every single time Bitcoin has managed to recover. So on the around like February, right, the crash started in February, then it got accelerated to right around the 20th of March. And on that day, BTC had lost something like 64%. Right now, if BTC is losing 64%, imagine what other altcoins were doing. Everything was literally destroyed. I remember Ethereum was selling at $93. $93. I was still in university that time. And I was even talking to one of my friends. I mean, we didn't have much money for that, but by the time we go to the end of the year, we were like, man, only if we actually had a huge lump sum of money by then, we would have picked up all the Ethereum on planet Earth. But I understand it. There was massive fears of a global recession back then as well. And I think that one was actually much more justified, because there was a risk that literally almost everybody could die, right? But still, the market eventually managed to find its foot, and everything was okay. This today is not much big different. I was on a live stream yesterday as well, and I suggested that maybe we could see a crash as big as the 1921 Great Depression. Somebody popped up in the chat and they say that there is no chance of that happening, because back then we didn't have the Fed to try and mitigate all this kind of disasters. In today's world, we have got the Fed, and we shouldn't be expecting a 1929 kind of a Great Depression. And I respect that kind of analysis, to be honest with you. Now they have got the tools to mitigate this kind of a disaster. And here is where the good news is actually coming from, right? Now, they are going to start printing money. There is no doubt about that. They do that in terms of situation, I mean, crisis like this one. And yeah, in conditions like those ones, Bitcoin is going to flourish really, really well. They probably only have, 1 or 2 options. It's either they start cutting rates, which is in the short term going to be not too good for the market, but long term, I will show you that in a second actually, right? Long term, when we have seen the rate cut versus Bitcoin, and I should actually go with the stock market, right? So we have seen that almost every single time that we have had a rate cut, for the most part, the market has gone down, right? Let me go ahead and try to illustrate this with an arrow. So you see these white lines here. These are the previous times that we have had a rate cut in the market. So we see here, and then the market dropped. But I want you to pay attention to what eventually happens, right? When the floor has been reached and rates are constant, the market flourishes big time. This is insane, right? So take a look at this part here as well. That's back then in 2000. We were also seeing rate cuts being evoked, and the market dropped really, really hard. Pay attention to what happens in an environment when the rates are almost constant, right? The market really pumps to the upside, and I have no doubt that Bitcoin and the other things are going to be doing just well. So yeah, the cutting period may not be too good, but now the question remains, or the question pops up actually, how fast are they going to be cutting these rates? Because their hand is now being forced, right? So are they going to do it like in a very quick fashion in like 6 months, 8 months, within a certain period of time, like 12 months or something like that. And then we are gonna seeing the markets be seeing the markets recover one more time. I think they're gonna go ahead and do something like that because their hand is literally being forced right now. They also have to print a lot of money, and yeah, I think they really don't have a choice but to try and mitigate this whole disaster. It's crazy across the globe. You are seeing here that it's not really specific to the US market or to the crypto market. It's just right across the board. Let me continue showing you here.
4%. So that really triggered big falls in other parts of the economy. It's the worst day in Japan since the massive share market crash in 1987. Korea's Kopsi down, as you can see, by almost 9%. In Taiwan there, the market also collapsed, and so did many of the big semiconductor companies there, TMSC being the notable one there. Now, it was Taiwan's worst day, worst stock market performance on record. It will also hold a press conference very, very shortly once its session closes. In other words, what you can see across Asia, there is absolute carnage. Now, to get a glimpse of what's ahead, the eyes tonight will be watching the US Institute for Supply Management Services, the so-called PMI index, due to be released in the US at midnight our time tonight. Now, this will give a guide to see how the services side of America is holding up. So the litmus test is going to be the NASDAQ, this one here. Have a look at the futures market. So this is accelerated during the day. It was originally down a couple of percent after the 2.3% we showed you on Friday, now down by 5.3%. So in other words, the fall in US tech stocks is going to be significant tonight, and that then will actually reverberate again around the world. So
wow, so there is actually going to be more news coming from the United States, and we are already seeing that some markets in Japan and Asia, they are going to be holding some kind of press conference and something like that. This is exactly the kind of move that I anticipate the United States government to do within the next 24 hours. They have to go ahead and try to mitigate this kind of a disaster, because other than that, the situation is just going to continue devolving into massive chaos. It's going to be devolving into massive chaos, right? We'll see what eventually happens. I will say this though, right, as a crypto holder and as somebody who has been in the market for a very long time, we have been through things like this left, right, and center, and I think there is nobody else who is as more prepared as somebody who has been in crypto for the last, let's say, 8 years or something like that, because we have seen the worst. We have seen Terra Luna. I mean, the whole thing crashed to like zero, literally from $220 something to 0.00. We have seen these things, we have witnessed these things. Some of us were holding that. We have actually seen the FTX fiasco. I mean, I can go on and on and on and on. So I will repeat this one more time. Whether we have a recession or we don't have a recession, crypto is going to be fine. We have always had 99.9% crashes in the market and still managed to pump to the upside, right? The same thing is going to be happening here. In fact, if we have a recession, why wouldn't crypto be the first one to recover from such a system, right? Why wouldn't people now realize that, well, probably we should be relying on Bitcoin, which doesn't have an infinite amount of circulation, right? Which is not controlled by anybody, and stuff like that. Who knows, if maybe after this whole thing, Bitcoin's popularity is just going to be going to the upside. But of course, I have to mention that I'm just speculating right at this point. There's just no enough data. I mean, there's simply no data actually how Bitcoin behaves in a situation when the stock market is crashing. So even if we have a rate cut today, the most likely thing is that the stock market is going to continue crashing to the downside. Now, after that, the question is like, how fast are the money printers going to go, right? How fast are they going to go? Because they have to go at some point, right? They really have to go at some point. They cannot say now we are cutting rates and they don't turn on the money printers at all. They have to. They will be forced to do something like that. Now, you know the deal. For a few days, yes, cash will be the deal. And you're going to need it, obviously, to be buying, precious metals, risk on assets and stuff like that. After some time, people are going to realize that, you know what, forget about this. The stock market is now doing much better as well. And we'll see a nice recovery. We will see a nice recovery, definitely. You guys, if you have got any altcoin that you want to talk about, you can feel free to write me in the comment. We can talk about it. I actually opened this live stream so that we could have a conversation. Normally I would have made a video, maybe on Jasmine, maybe on ICP and stuff like that, but because the situation is so volatile, the last few days I haven't been able to make a video. I know that like 2 hours later the video will be obsolete and nobody will be able to watch the video. So go ahead, show me what you want to talk about, and then we will jump right into it. But this is what we are seeing here: fears of a global recession right across the board, from Australia, from Japan, Asian markets. I haven't checked the Turkish markets yet, because I mean, if those ones also are down, pretty much the rest of Asia is not doing too well. I mean, the United States hasn't opened just yet. We will open in a few hours. I think about 6-7 hours from now, and we'll see what eventually happens right there. But I'm anticipating that they will come up with some kind of a mitigation plan. They did it back here, if you remember, when just that was right around when we were having the FTX fiasco. There were those 3 banks which collapsed, and immediately you saw the United States governments coming out, and they were bailing them out. They had to do something like that. It's something that is almost a must, right? That's their mandate, and we'll see. Oh yeah, by the way, Bitcoin has broken out of that channel that we were talking about. Jasmine is still holding its last line of support here. It's holding strong. Should this one be destroyed, then yeah, it's a free fall from here, and we will be looking as far back as the resistance that we were looking back in 2022. Can you imagine? I was making videos back then, actually. I was making videos back then, and the mantra was like, if Jasmine goes above $0.008, then we're going to be flying. Eventually we broke above it, and of course we saw Jasmine flying. But are we really going to be visiting those lows one more time? Are we really going to be doing something like that? I mean, should we fall here from 1.4 or 1.5 cents here for Jasmine? That will be about a 40%. Yeah, I will definitely be buying a lot here. I will be buying a lot of Jasmine in that zone. And yeah, Jasmine will still have a bullish structure. I think I have talked about this situation once in one of my videos, but still it's still holding pretty well. Obviously there is no need to put a lot of weight onto it, because Jasmine is like a really tiny section of what the market is doing, like really tiny. Ethereum was dropping real bad. I mean, I had never seen anything like this other than what we saw in 2020, right? So Ethereum, let's quickly take a look at it from Bitstamp here. And yeah, it's simply capitulated. It really capitulated, breaking its support level. Okay. Yeah, but it seems like the worst is going to be over for Ethereum. We'll see one more leg to the downside, maybe capitulating, but this should come in as a much stronger resistance. But these levels are actually sub 2k. Can you imagine? Right around $1,900 is where it would be greatly supported, all the way down to something like $1,600. Yeah, this is not so good. This is not so good. And wow, it is crashed 40%. Wait a second, what's happening? This is showing much more weakness than I anticipated. From the very top here to where it is right now, it has crashed 50%, just like a regular altcoin. Yeah, that's not nice. So things like Casper actually outperforming Ethereum right now. Oh, look at this. This has been destroyed. This has been destroyed. I was out of this trade yesterday. This has been destroyed completely. But Casper is holding pretty strongly than Ethereum. Wow, interesting. Let's take a sweep right across the market. I will be waiting for you guys to show up in the chat. Please like the live stream, share it with anybody you think needs this kind of information. Let's see. I read last week that the Japanese yen is going to Japan will increase, and created bearish last week for going to. Okay, no problem. Yeah, that's exactly what happened. I mean, they have been having like low interest rate, almost zero interest rate for I think 17 years, and for the very first time in 17 years they increase their interest rates. Now what that does is that you know, it has been cheap to borrow money, but for now it's not going to be cheap to borrow money. So people who have investments abroad, especially the United States equities, they started pulling out their funds from there, bringing back money to Japan. So they brought back money to Japan, and there was a massive sell-off in the United States on that same day, right? It started on that same day, and then it continued all the way to Friday last week. So it really hasn't been a very good period for United States markets, but it's just as I was indicating, it really has been a global mess, really. I mean, not only are we talking about the markets when we talk about global messes, I mean, man, the world is in chaos right now. We need radical changes. We need radical changes and common sense back into leadership. Let's see here. And Nasdaq is in a strong downturn, definitely. I mean, we wouldn't say it's in a very strong downturn, but there are very big signs that there is likely a bubble that is going to be popping for the Nasdaq as well. And not only the Nasdaq, but the rest of the market, to be honest with you. So it's crazy. It's really crazy. It's really crazy. All right, so you guys don't have an altcoin that you want to take a look at. That's really interesting. That's really interesting. Usually people come and they want to take a look. I mean, the Russell 2000 was giving hope, but ever since, oh no, it hit the resistance and then just dropped back one more time. Just dropped back one more time. Yeah, I have been worried also about the crypto market for quite some time, but you know, I think it's just much better if we see this kind of crashes happening on a global scale rather than, you know, it being isolated to crypto and stuff like that. It means that crypto has got a place in global markets, and I think it will recover very well. It will recover very well. Let me just go ahead and take a look at some of other altcoins that we have here. So this is storage, for example, back in its support level, but the support level is complicated. This is what? This is ICP, Internet Computer Protocol. Yeah, it's looking like we'll set a new low compared to the $5 mark that we were setting there for ICP. Oil, for one reason, is dumping. Gold is dumping. Like, everything is dumping. What kind of a market are we in right now? Everything is dumping. Things will be clear in a few days from now when we see a mitigation plan from the United States. I'm just very sure that they will have. Wow, take a look at this. Coinbase is trading at $177. It closed at $204 on Friday, right? So it's down already in the pre-market. Obviously, it's down 12%. It's down 18% even. That's not too good. That is not too good. Let's quickly take a look at the other ones. This is Meta. For one reason or the other, Meta is doing way much better than a lot of these. So Meta is trading at $465 when it closed at 488. So the 4 is not really that big from its peak. Let's take a look at the next one here. Microsoft. Yeah. Wow. Okay, Microsoft is trading at 392 when it closes the day on Friday at 408. So it's down. What is this here? From Friday alone, it's down 3%. I won't be surprised if we see another $3 trillion being wiped out of the market today, if there is no contingency plan, right? But there has to be a contingency plan. These guys cannot just sit back on their hands and let things unwind like this. Their Democrat candidate Kamala will lose the election, but I mean, maybe it's good if she loses. Doesn't know what she's doing. Anyway, I'm just being political, but I don't like it too much. I don't like it too much. Just so you know that CF doesn't like Kamala, not because she's black. I'm also black myself, but forget about it. She's not good. She's an incompetent candidate. She's an incompetent candidate. She doesn't know how to put two sentences together. Anyway, let's get away from politics. But we can't get away from politics, can we? We need Donald Trump to fix the economy. Atom, wow. There was an anticipated support level here, down, broken that one here. Let's shift the support level down here. Not strong at all. Decentraland. Yesterday I was talking about Decentraland, and I was saying that there is a likelihood, but nah, those things are broken. Those things are broken. No trades to see there. We have to wait, guys. We have to wait. Number one, you have to understand that yes, there is always a massive opportunity when the market is dropping like this, right? There is an opportunity, obviously, but you also have to understand that you're not going to be able to pinpoint the bottom, right? So you would rather wait. Don't catch a falling knife. Wait a few days. The market will give us some kind of a direction. Then we can always reanalyze one more time. We will obviously have different facts. I was seeing a meme the other day, and it was saying that the German government was right, and the guy was crying into oblivion, right? I think it was a fantastic one, right? Do not get shook. Okay, yeah, maybe you shouldn't get shook, but before the stock market opens, I think there isn't much that we can talk about. Look, there's just crazy things happening right across the world. In the United Kingdom, they are fighting Muslims as if Muslims are the problem. Go ahead and fix other things, right? Fix your borders. Don't allow anybody into your country, right? So let's go ahead and take a look at what crypto is talking about. This is Ron Newer. This is the guy from Crypto Panther. Yeah, in situations like this, he comes up with common sense, actually. And I don't like him a lot when he talks about different other altcoins. But in situations where we have got like massive macro and global economic situations like this, he comes in handy, to be honest with you. So let's see what he says here. He says the worst is over. Specifically for the Nikkei, this is the Japanese stock market. By that I mean that the market could still go down, but today it was the biggest candle down. The US market won't melt down. The close will be better than -2.5 for the day for the Nasdaq. There is no Fed emergency meeting, even after the markets are up 20% on the Nasdaq this year. Okay, no problem. We're definitely getting a rate cut in September. It won't be 50 basis points. Let's see how many I am right on there. Okay, I mean, this information is not relevant, to be honest with you. I think that the government will still come up with a contingency plan within this week, because if they don't do anything, it's just going to continue unwinding like this. People should not underestimate fear. People should not underestimate fear. Like David says, holy shit, Iran backing down and Fed calling an emergency meeting. Oh yeah, this is 10 minutes ago, right? Yeah, so this are, I mean, I hope this news is actually true, right? Because if the Fed is calling an emergency meeting, then that is definitely something that is good. As I said before, that there has to be a contingency plan. They cannot let the situation just unwind like this. If Iran is breaking down, that's a good sign as well, because fears of like a World War III will not be there anymore. I saw the United States was sending a fleet of let's see here. No way, come on, this is not real. This is not real. They don't have the resources like this one. So this is 6 hours ago. No way.
عليكم الباب ينسد ظلمكم تريد مشرد عليكم الباب ينسد ظلمكم تريد مشرد لا مفر.
This is some AI.
اجاكم الموت الاحمر اجاكم بريح صرصر.
Otherwise, they will just be betting the rest of their economy on a war that they are likely going to lose. So yeah, I'm not putting a lot of so says a lot of red downwards. I believe big news event going to happen that's going to add a lot of liquidity to the ball rolling. Yes, definitely, this is how they've acted in the past, and they will do it again. They don't have a lot in their tools, to be honest, in their toolbox, I should be saying. So they will have an emergency call. They will try to mitigate the disaster. That's what they have always done in the past. Guys, if you are here and you haven't liked the live stream, please just like it, share it with anybody who you think needs a pick me up, because that's what I'm trying to give you here, right? Let's see here. Breaking news: Fed to call emergency meeting today regarding interest rate after Japan's stock market collapse. They will likely do that, right? 6 minutes ago, 1 billion liquidated from the Bitcoin market. This is not news. We have seen way worse in this market. But right now, the Bitcoin market and the crypto market, you have to understand that it is only like a very small section of what is happening right at this point. Robinhood house 24-hour trading. All right, they should actually do that, right? But for how long are they gonna do that? Bitcoin and all markets, yay, getting ready to buy more gold, silver. Yeah, the thing is, like, if you actually look at the chart, this guy, these guys, they keep saying these things as if they don't look at the charts, right? If you look at the Bitcoin and the gold chart, it literally shows you a direct correlation between Bitcoin and gold. Now, it actually shows you that from time to time, Bitcoin happens to stop gold. It goes into a new all-time high. Gold goes sideways, and then gold catches up. Let me go ahead and show you that chart right there, so that you just be like, oh, CF is just saying things out of thin air, right? So this is Bitcoin versus gold, right? I'll take this to the monthly time frame, and you will see exactly what I'm trying to say, right? That for the most part, these things, they go together, right? So let's just get rid of all drawings here, and so we have Bitcoin on top, right? This is the candles that you are seeing there, and we have gold down here, right? So take a look at this. Each and every single time BTC is moving into a new all-time high, obviously gold is going to the downside here. But oh, sorry, I didn't catch that nice and easy. Let me come back and try to show you this way, right? Very good. So what you are saying is that for the most part, gold and Bitcoin are all going up at the same time, right? They're going up. When they go down, also they are going down at the same time, right? Very clear. And then all of a sudden, gold stop, because gold is the one that is in blue. I don't know if this is actually blue. By the way, I'm colorblind, so I'm not really good with colors, but I would guess that this is blue, right? Gold is the one that is in blue. Now, when gold stops here, BTC happens to go into an all-time high. But take a look at what happens when Bitcoin also peaks. Gold is also making a local peak here, and then they start falling together, right? They start falling together one more time. Gold starts rising. What happens to Bitcoin? Bitcoin also starts rising, right? Now, there is this phenomenon that happens time and again, just as I was mentioning, that gold happens to stop, BTC flies into a new all-time high. This is just going sideways. But also take notice what happens here. When Bitcoin starts dropping back, right? Bitcoin is starting to drop back. In as much as gold has been in a sideways action kind of a thing, it also starts pulling back. It starts rising. What also starts happening here with Bitcoin? Bitcoin also starts rising. So in fact, it's much better to be holding Bitcoin for the long term, because that's exactly what the data is showing, right? Even in this situation here, you see them rising all together, right, at the same time. All of a sudden, gold stops. Bitcoin sets a new all-time high. On the fall, look, when BTC starts falling like this here, what is happening to gold is also start falling like this, right? It eventually falls. They find the bottom almost at the same time. Then they start rising together. So what evidence is there to say that, you shouldn't be interested in crypto? Like it says, Bitcoin and all markets are crashing. Yay, getting ready to buy more gold, silver. Now is the time when they come on, man. Come on. Don't, if you have a big platform like this, you shouldn't actually be misinforming people. You don't need any of this. Like, just be honest with people, right? Let's go ahead and take a look at the gold price right now, and I will show you that. Is it doing well right now? Gold is down 1%. It's down 1%. So what really are we talking about? Gold is down, oil is down, everything is down. These guys, I don't like funny people, man. I don't like funny people. Just try to find an opportunity to attack crypto, but it's okay. It's okay. The data shows us otherwise, and the truth always prevails. That's what we know in this market, right? The truth always prevails, not only in the market but everywhere else in the world. So don't be misled by people like this one here. He has made a career on fear, uncertainty, and doubt. But it's okay. It's okay. Let's see what other people are saying, right? I saw an interesting meme right here, right? It was saying that, how is your crypto going? I liked this one. I love this one. Let me play this one. So let's pull it back.
You okay?
This is crazy. Let's go
okay?
one more time. everything is gonna be fine, guys. Everything is gonna be fine. I almost got emotional towards the end of that. I mean, it felt like it was something that was serious. But anyway, yeah, crazy things are happening in the market right now. Current crash coming to avoid V reversal. We would have to see about that. Would have to see about that. Right now, I'll be honest with you, I'm not taking any sort of action. Okay, just in. Warren Buffett holds 277 billion. This is not news. Who likes Polkadot? Nobody's talking about and thinking about Polkadot right now, bro. Nobody. Black Swan event. A wave of financial collapse in markets is happening across the world. Black Swan or Black Monday. Stocks and crypto have plunged as investors start to panic. While a global sell-off depends. Absolute chaos in Japan as stock markets are on track for their biggest decline in more than 8 years, following a significant drop last Friday. Okay, I think it's going to be the same thing happening for the Dow Jones and S&P 500 today as well. This is an even larger drop than the Black Monday of, wow, Japan is going back as 1987. South Korea has halted all sell orders as market crashed more than 5%. Now, isn't this market manipulation, right? Shouldn't we now be living in a free market where everything crashes and then people who have got cash are able to buy and, stuff like this? I mean, it's good in a way because probably you avoid something like a 1929 Great Depression crisis kind of a thing, but still, it's not solving the problem. It's really not solving the problem. A lot of people have been saying that if we have got this big recession/depression, it's going to reset the market, and probably after that we're going to have an even stronger economy because it's going to be much more based. But if you continue doing like this, you're perpetuating the problem, right? In the United States, the Magnificent Seven stocks have erased nearly 500 billion overnight. Yeah, with rumors of World War III, civil wars across Europe, especially this year in the United Kingdom. They should come on, you should do better, right? The markets are expecting an even deeper crash tomorrow. We'll see what happens. This was posted about how many hours ago? About 5 hours ago. It's crazy. The Olympics, man, I lost 40% of my wallet in 7 different days. Yeah, things like this happen. Things like this happen. I'm almost down almost 50% as well. The good thing is I'm on 50% cash right now, and I can always buy back as the market continues to drop to the downside. Robinhood has halted trading on its platforms due to high volatility. They are not protecting retail. You see, I'm not the only one who thinks this. Like, they are not protecting anybody. They are screwing everybody. Really. There should be an open market. I mean, if the market wasn't manipulated, right, we probably wouldn't be in this situation. But because of this kind of manipulations, yeah, we are. Let me go ahead and see the comments here, because maybe I'm the one who is just pitching up a storm for no reason. But I think all Robin investors should close their accounts immediately after they resume trading. They are fucking criminals. Couldn't care less. If you lose everything, the best way for them to get back is GameStop. Yeah, lose 99%. Okay. Oh my god, this woman again. Come on. Don't use her in memes like this. You just make my blood boil left, right, and center. That's what makes sense. It's easier for her to provide liquidity than to provide liquidity. Yeah, there is no liquidity. It depends. The whole thing will crash. One other problem that we are having in this economic crisis is that we have got a lot of companies which are just being protected, and they actually don't have the liquidity that they claim. Banks as well. I mean, should we start talking about banks? We won't be able to finish. I mean, it's a whole disaster left, right, and center. Guys, like the live stream if you are still here. If you like what you're hearing, share it with anybody who you think needs it. If you have an altcoin, if you have a chart that you want us to take a look at, or feel free to write me in the comment section. I'm looking at that, and we can be talking about those things. But we are monitoring the situation together here, and yeah, it is what is in the market right now. Let's see, Olympics news. I'm not interested in any of that. Look at this meme here. He says Germany was right. No, they were not right. Oh, this guy as well. Man, it's crazy. It's crazy right across the globe. Vitalik Buterin sells. Wow. Let's see if the news of the Fed having an emergency meeting is actually something that is very much reliable. Okay, let's go ahead. I am de-risking. I have sold a portion of my portfolio. I think everybody has done that. If you haven't sold until this point, probably it's now too late. If you haven't sold up until this point, it's probably too late. Because maybe you're down 80%. I mean, why are you selling at 80% loss? You can as well hold it. Crypto will always recover, right? It will always recover. Let's see here. Shui game versus VPICP card. No news. Alex Becker says they are going to make every short slightly move to fix. Once again, let's go ahead. They are gonna make every short sighted okay move to fix this and cause another COVID like pump. This will also seal the financial doom of the dollar and the West. I think so too. But we will be fed on the beach in Dubai using Bugattis and mouse watches currency then. Well, I agree with the first point that they will try to make a short-sighted move to fix this situation. This really has been my messaging ever since yesterday, that they are not going to allow this to continue devolving. They have to go ahead and try to do one thing or the other, right? Donald Trump has a new ad, right? I happen to like Donald Trump, and I think he's also great for the economy. So yeah, in times like these ones, I think it becomes much more apparent. What the hell is this guy doing here? I don't want any of this thing on my feed right at this point. Do I even follow this guy? No. So why am I being showed what nonsense this guy is talking about? Not interested in this post. Fewer posts from this guy. We want serious things here. We want things about the economy, right? We want to understand what the global markets are looking like, and they're busy showing me somebody who is cutting off a sausage. All right, we've got a rumor last 26 minutes that the Federal Reserve is about to call an emergency meeting to discuss rate cuts after they will definitely have an emergency call. I mean, if they don't have an emergency call in this kind of a situation, I mean, we don't have a Fed, we can as well forget about it, right? So it's more likely, I think it's 90% or 99.9% that they're going to have an emergency meeting to try and mitigate the disaster that they created themselves, to be honest. So yeah, they are going to try and mitigate the disaster. And as I say it, right, the money printing machines are going to be turned on in no time. Immediate short-term, yes, it's painful, it's all that, but yeah, it's a make or break moment for a lot of people, right? I know people have been living paycheck to paycheck, but also if you've been living paycheck to paycheck, and if a lot of your money was in crypto, that was a mistake, and I think you should take it as a lesson to say, yes, I mean, you have to invest, but not a lot that you're not willing to lose, right? I mean, nobody's willing to lose money. I should probably be rephrasing that. That is not going to be too detrimental for you if you lose 100%. I happen to learn a lot of risk management through a lot of mistakes, and I'll never do the same mistakes again. So here we'll see if the Fed is gonna come and save us. The greatest single day since COVID-19 crash. If you are new around here, then congrats on your first big bet or scar. Fantastic. It's 100% true, and I think it deserves a retweet right here, right? How do you politely tell your visitor that it's time to go home? Who really cares, man? Who really cares? We want to know about the money, right? Terence Williams says World War III on the way because used to be idiots didn't like the main tweets. Stock market crashing because used to be idiots didn't like the main tweets. Again, Trump 2024, baby, no doubt about that. My view is that you will survive a checkout on rocket ship. Interesting. Bull blockchain 7 hours ago. This is old news actually. Vitalik dumped meme coin Nero on Ethereum. Interesting. Nero transferred $17.1 billion, 4% of the total, to Vitalik's address and used this to promote Vitalik as the largest holder. Vitalik then sold. This is why I don't like meme coins, but I'm not going to be reading that. That's not worth my time. Wada says 1 billion leverage. Okay, this is not news. We have seen way worse. And Jim Cramer says he stands bearish on the stock market. I mean, that's crazy, isn't it? That's crazy. Yeah, but in situations like these ones, yeah, he may have turned bearish. He usually happens to be wrong 99.9% of the time. But right now, I think it's okay to wait a little bit, try to understand the game plan that is going to be coming from the Fed and stuff like that, and then we can take some sort of action. But usually this guy is always wrong, right? Bitcoin was dropping below 50%. Okay, no problem. This guy here is trying to give you a pick me up if you are seeing this for the very same. Things like this happen each and every single time. It doesn't feel the same though. It doesn't feel the same. It always feels like the world is coming to an end. It always feels like that. The world is coming to an end. Let's see here. Load your altcoins and sleep on them. I think it is true. It is true. I don't follow Ivan on Tech. I think I should actually give him a follow. A great guy, this one. He's a great guy. Cobb says Trump assassination attempt. Biden drops out of the race. Completely MAI. Missing in action. The Democrats. I would go ahead and say that these guys are evil. How can you literally do that to such an old guy? It's elderly abuse. It's so much clear that he's not here, and they still keep putting him out there. I mean, why? What is that all about? Anyway, Kamala Harris, psycho overnight. I don't know what this I don't know this word, right? Gay Olympics opening, mocking Christ, Israel war tension, Japan Black Monday, England riots, crypto nuking. Let's see what else. What the fuck does this timeline lead to? Wow, bad times obviously. Germany is the best crypto trader in 2024 apparently. Okay, we have got the same woman again, man. Come on, Kamala Harris decided to go to a record store cameras to buy an album from famous black artists in an attempt to prove that she's black. This woman is not black, and I say this one as a black person myself. She's not. I don't identify with her, so she should stop wasting her time. Anyway, Alex, wait, this is 12 hours ago. This is old news, right? I mean, I think it's so over. Wall Street Bet says it's so over. No, it's never over until it's over. It's never over until it's over. I just set up a huge buy at $48,000. Yeah, you shouldn't be taking crazy decisions like this one. I've been following Crypto Rover for quite some time, and I've followed his last 3-4 trades or something like that on Bitcoin. They've all lost, and they've also lost like big amounts of money. So I think you should stop, and you should, sometimes it's not like that you are a bad trader, but you have to step back a little bit and try to understand the situation. If you keep doing like taking one trade after the other, you're likely going to be losing because you're now doing revenge trading, but that's not going to be too good. That's not going to be too good for you. Let's see here if we've got any more news coming from the market. All right, let's see here. If pop-up announces emergency rate cut this week, then the shit is going to get through crazy fast. I think we would still see a huge drop in the market. Still see a huge drop in the market. That will be the second wave. But after that, I think, the market will calm down. But the day that those things are announced, the market will crash even harder, in my opinion. The market will even crash harder. A lot of people are calling that this is the discount day. They're right, 100% they're right. Is it time to buy though? For a lot of people, I wouldn't say it is time to buy, because what is going to happen is that, people don't understand the markets. They're going to buy now. The market will drop another 10%. They're going to sell. It will pump another 15%. They're going to buy back. The market now drops 25%. You're losing left, right, and center. So wait a little bit. Wait for the situation to clarify a little bit. Don't be the guy who says, I wanted to buy the exact bottom. You will never be able to do that. Rather, you will make a lot of mistakes. Just wait it out a little bit, and you will be fine. Right now I'm 50% in cash, 50% in the little crypto that I have left, but that's okay. That's okay. We'll weather this storm together. We will weather this storm together. These two will come to pass. We have been in this situation before, and we're gonna be fine too. I'm definitely gonna be coming up with another live stream. Let's go ahead and vote, right? If the election were held today, who would you vote for? Donald Trump. 100%. Wow, this is insane, man. This is insane. 85% will favor Donald Trump. How? Well, there are 28,000 people who voted. Damn, that's crazy. That's really crazy. Rest in look at this meme. People should stop. But anyway, we are having fun in terms of a crisis, right? Now supports Casper. Binance mining pool now supports Casper mining. Yeah, Casper is no doubt going to be listed on Binance very soon. Anyway, people should have listened. 48 kids hard. Okay, no problem. We'll see ICP at $5. A lot of people are saying a lot of different things, right? We'll see what eventually happens. Let's see if we've got more news, and then I'll cut this live stream. I'll come back later on. Yeah, I have to be as available as possible in situations like this, because we are seeing a lot of crazy things happening, right? There's not much great news. The interesting thing is if we're going to be seeing that the Fed is going to have some kind of an emergency meeting or something like that. Other than that, Sarita loss hold to zero. I'm definitely going with hold to zero, 100%. Hold to zero, die hard. I would rather die in my beliefs than chicken out. I would rather die in my beliefs. Hold to zero. I choose hold to zero. Central banks have played with fire for years. Now the world is about to be banned. They kept interest rate artificially low, blowing up a global debt bubble and inflation. Well, Peter Schiff, you're right. Don't just go ahead and try to say, okay, don't buy Bitcoin. I got so much hate. XRP. Wow. I think he called XRP to pull back a little bit. 50,000. You know what, guys? Thank you so much. I'm gonna come back later on, and then we are gonna be talking about the latest news in the market and stuff like that, just to keep you informed throughout the day. It's a critical time, obviously. If you are looking for, any sort of guidance, assistance, or things like that, I'm gonna be here in the live streams, and we can weather the storm together, right? Let's see what Brandon Tatum says. A lot of fear and uncertainty out there, and I just want to remind you all that God is always in control, and he knows what he's doing. Yeah, that's the problem right now, right? As a Christian, God says that there are gonna be a lot of these bad times, right? There are gonna be a lot of this financial turmoil and economic turmoil and stuff like that. So that's exactly the fear right now, that the predicted stuff, the prophecies are coming to light right now. So I will go ahead and retweet this one, not to give anybody any sort of hope, but to show that these kind of things have been said before. But anyway, we will see what is happening. I'll come back obviously with a new live stream later on today, just to stay in touch with you guys, and then we can weather this storm together, right? Just remember, this kind of things happen time and again. We have seen things like this in the market, but each and every single time we've found a bottom, and crypto has always recovered, and we will be fine. We will definitely be fine. With that, I say thank you so much for hanging out with me, and then see you on the next one. Take